Hello folks, 1919 Buffalo, New York here. So I had a couple of people ask me how was I running my Quad 5 with my Texas Star 500. Obviously, those who know, we run an amp, you gotta have a certain dead key, stuff like that. And yes, this radio does do 60, 65, watts out the box. So to get an understanding of how in the world am I running it with this, what is this. You can set the dead key to be what you want it to be, depending on the amp that you're running. All the way down to a half a watt to 2, 3, 4 watts, depending on what you're running. It can be done. So this is how it's done. Turn the radio off. The menu and mode button. Push menu, push mode, you hold it, and you turn the radio on. It's hard to do with one hand, but I'm gonna try. Okay, I had to hold the camera. It comes on like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And turn that down. So what you do is the menu button and mode button, you hold those two buttons in, and at the same time turn the knob. Be easier if you can do it with two hands. Once that screen pops up, as soon as it pops up, start here at DW. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You push those buttons and you'll be right here. Okay? To get to where you need to be, there's only two things I said in this radio. The dead key and the modulation. Now, before you change anything, make sure you write down the number that's on there so you can go back to it, for factory, so I had to refactory set to a radio. So you need to go to number 16, which is AM power high. In order to look the number, you have to push the button on the microphone. It'll show your number. This is where I have mine set right now. From the factory, I think mine was set at like 144. Let me see. Factory set high. Yeah, I think it's like 144. What I wrote down. And I was messing around with different things. So 144. I have it set now at 90. 90 gives me a 3-watt dead key. That's what I need for mine. That's what I use for my Texas Star. Because a 3-watt dead key will give me a 100-watt dead key once I turn the amp on. For this amp here, it say like 25 watts per transistor. So with that being 25 watts per 100 watts, so you want to give a 100-watt dead key. That'll let you know, from what I learned, whatever your transistors are, 25 watts, because you want to be able to have a certain dead key, because too much will take and overpower the amp, overdrive the amp, So that's a safe spot. That's why I run mine at. I don't try to overpower my stuff to squeeze stuff out. I get what I get. Either you hear me or you don't. I'm not blowing my stuff up trying to be heard. I'm just saying. So number 16 is that you hold this button here. And what you do is you have to keep holding this to turn the knob. And it goes up. It's hard to, let me see. I gotta put my microphone here. Okay, now, as you hold the mic with two hands, you can go up and down. So like I said, for me, 90 is 3 watts. Now, this is what I do as well. Okay, let me show you this at first. I test it out, obviously, on your meter. So, as you see the top scale, number 3 on the top scale at 20, that's 3 watts. So, as you hold the microphone and turn that knob, the your numbers here will change. So you can set it as 1, 2, 3, half a watt, whatever. So also what I did too is the next one, number 17, is AM low power. I have my AM low power set at 90 as well, which is 3 watts. That means that when I turn this knob here, the dial, the power knob here, it will not accidentally go up to 10 watts, 15 watts, whatever, and blow my amp up. No matter what I do with this knob, it's always going to be a dead key of 3 watts. Now, on the other hand, setting it both at the same thing, when it goes up, this here will go up to, the radio goes up to 60. So all the way open will swing to 60. That you have to be careful of. So say like, I think about here was like 30. So if you set it right here, you'll always have a dead key of 3 watts, and it will swing no higher than 30. If you need to swing more than that, you just turn it up. Like if you had a high drive, you want to swing it to 50, whatever. You look at that, test your own meter, that's it. But for 30 watts high, or that all I want, I'll set it right there. And with dead key 3 watts, swing up to 30. Then one more thing I changed on here is right here. Number 19 is your modulation. The modulation comes at, I think, 165, but when you turn it all the way down to 0, that gives you 100% modulation. It sounds fine. I know a lot of people say don't do it because you need different scales and stuff. That's fine. Do what you want. I checked mine out and put it on 0, then and go into the other menu and turn your mic gain all the way up. Sounds fine. It's not loud, it's not scratchy, it's not whistling, squealing, nothing like that. This radio here does a good job of doing a good job. So I turned mine to 0 for number 19, and number 20 is the same thing. So 19 is low, modulation low, 20 is modulation high. So what that means is they're both on 0. So that means that when you turn this knob here all the way up, the modulation will shoot up. Like that's your modulation, like on a scale. Audio. See how that bar is going all the way across? That's your full modulation. When you turn this all the way down, it backs it down some. And the full swinging power, audio. So that goes down. But anyway, this here will give you a good help out with your swing, the modulation swing. So these are the only 2 I changed. So for me, 3 watts out is 90. For you, it's different. I mean, it'll still be 90, but if you went on 2 or 1 or whatever, just taking dial it down, because I know I had it set for a half a watt for another amp, and a half a watt is like 62, I think it was. So, you know, once you look at your meter, you'll get everything all set. But yeah, so 16 for me is 90, that's high. 16 and 17 I set fire to dead key, and then 19 and 20 are both 0 for the modulation, and everything works. I don't talk AM anymore. I talk pretty much sideband. So you know with sideband you don't need a dead key. But this is for the people that ask me about how to set the dead key on the radio. So with the AM, with the sideband, you don't need dead key. It's all about modulation. So the whole modulation part down to 0 is what really does great on sideband. Get a great swing on sideband. So yeah, pretty much this is how you set this. And like I said, use this as your dial. And this dial here will be on the sideband side. You know, if you wanted to only go up so far, 30, 40 watts, you turn this here. For the AM side, setting number 16 and 17 will give you a constant dead key of whatever you set it to. So you don't accidentally turn this knob and dead key 1 second, a watt, and dead key another second, 10 watts. So basically that's it. I didn't mean to make the video so long, but a proper explanation has no time frame. All right, that's it for this video here. I'm always glad to help people out. I hope this helps somebody. So 70 trees, and catch you out there on the airwaves somehow, some way. 1919 Buffalo, New York, and I'm back on the side. Take care.